I would like to show you today how to do a value strip. The value strip is part of your visual element study. Means dark and light. The European word is chiaroscuro. In the 1400s, artists began to use darks and lights to create three-dimensional forms. We most commonly know it as shading. This is an upper grade activity. You can see a picture of a value strip on page 51 of your textbook. The supplies that you will need are as follows. You need any color of tempera or acrylic paint. You need white. You need some white paper that you can divide into small sections, a cup of water, something to mix your paint on, and then a small brush. Okay, let's get started. What I've done so far is that I've put my red and white paint out, and I've taken a small strip of paper and divided it into sections. Now the whole purpose of this will be to start with my darkest color first and then gradually add white. Now this isn't an easy activity to do. Even today in our college classrooms we have art students do value strips, and they can be done in charcoal and in pencil, but we're using paint. But this will give you a good idea of how artists use value to create three-dimensional forms. Okay, now that I have my strip divided and my paint is out, my red and my white, and you can use any color with your white, I'm going to dip my brush in the water, and then I will dip my paintbrush into the red. And I have a strip at the top, and I'm just going to paint this just straight red without mixing anything else with my paint. And you may want to paint this on something that you can keep your table from getting messy. Okay, there I have my red strip. I'll hold this up so you can see this. Now the next process is I'm going to put some red on my brush again, but this time I'm going to add just a little bit of white. And when I add the white, I will begin to get kind of a rose color. Now there's not much difference to this, and this is just something you kind of have to experiment around. There's nothing you can measure. And I'm going to put a little more red in it because I want it a little bit lighter but not too much of a contrast. And so right now I have kind of a rose color on my brush, and I'm going to paint my second strip. And I like that. That's a pretty good color. Alright. Now my third strip, I'm going to take that same color that I just painted and put some more white in it, and it's getting kind of a pink now. And I'm going to use that for my third strip. And I'll just keep going down. Then take that paint, add a little more white, and just keep going down. Each time I'll be adding more white. Some students say, well, why can't I start with the white first and then work on down with my red? And that's okay too. But let me show you what I've been doing. I've started with just straight red paint, and you can use blue or green or yellow, any color you choose, and then gradually add white to this. And you kind of have to experiment around. Sometimes you get to the bottom and you find that you need a few more sections to paint, and so you can go back and repaint, or maybe just make your real long section and cut off what you don't need. But this is a great exercise in one of the visual elements of value. Let me show you one that has been finished. This one was done in green. And you can see there's quite a bit of green right here. It may not be showing up on the camera. Here's another one. This one has two, and you can see it starts with the red and then gradually gets to the white, same with the black. And these are some really good value strips. Something that you might do that you would find interesting with older students is to maybe take shapes and have them start with a dark value and then repeat those shapes and gradually get to the white. That's something that might be a little more interesting to some students. But this is your value. It means dark and light, and this will be one of your projects that you will complete for your notebook. Okay, hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.